The night exploded with gunfire, bullets tearing through our kitchen. Sarah's scream cut short as she fell, blood pooling on the tiles. I'm Mason Kane, ex-Delta Force, callsign Reaper, and she was my anchor. The woman who stitched me back together after war broke me. Bikers and corrupt cops did this, thinking they'd silence her, bury their dirty secrets. They didn't know me. I've hunted in hellholes, killed with precision, and now I'm unleashed. Hell's coming for the Iron Vipers and Hargrove's badge-wearing scum. They took my wife, my peace. I'll take their lives, their empire, everything. This isn't just payback. It's a reckoning. Stay with me. This war's about to burn hot. The night was warm, a Texas breeze rattling the blinds as Sarah chopped onions in the kitchen, humming some old tune, her way of unwinding after a long day digging into stories no one else dared touch. I was on the couch, beer in hand, half listening to the TV, a rare moment of peace after 20 years in Delta Force. Then the world broke, glass shattered, gunfire roared, and I dove as bullets chewed through the walls. "Sarah!" I yelled, scrambling, Glock yanked from the drawer. Too late. She lay on the tiles, blonde hair fanned out, blood pooling under her, eyes wide and still. I crawled to her, hands shaking as I pressed her chest. Wet, warm, gone. Bike engines growled outside, fading fast. Iron Vipers, their patch of skull with fangs, burned into my brain from a glimpse. Then sirens, cops, late, useless. Hargrove stepped in, 50s, buzz cut, badge gleaming, his smirk cold. "Tragic, Kane," he drawled. "Random hit, bikers, probably. We'll look into it." "Bullshit." His eyes flicked, nervous, dirty. I stood, Sarah's blood on my hands, voice low. "You know who did this?" He shrugged, turned away. "Don't play hero, Delta boy." The room spun. Sarah's laugh from yesterday, her arms around me after a nightmare, steadying me when war left me hollow. She'd been chasing a lead, guns, cops, whispers of vipers. They'd silenced her, and Hargrove covered it. I gripped the Glock, knuckles white. Reaper woke inside me, a promise carved in her blood. They'd burn, bikers, cops, all of them, for taking my heart. The kitchen was silent now, Sarah's blood drying on the tiles, a stain I couldn't scrub away. I stood there, Glock still in hand, the weight of her gone heavier than any ruck I'd hauled in Delta. Hargrove's cruiser peeled out, leaving me with nothing but echoes. Her laugh, her touch, the way she'd trace the scar on my brow, and call me her stubborn bastard. She'd been my peace, my anchor after a rock. Now she was a ghost, and I was a weapon. I grabbed my go-bag from the garage, seal grade, always ready. Min 4 carbine, suppressed sig, knife, burner phone. Her laptop sat on the counter, cracked but alive. I powered it up, hands steady despite the ache. Files, notes on Iron Vipers, gun crates spotted at a dock. Hargrove's name circled with payoffs. She dug too deep, and they buried her for it. My fist clenched. Reaper wasn't just awake, he was starving. The burner buzzed. "Tommy, ex-Marine," voice like gravel over broken glass. "Mason, heard shots. Sarah okay." I swallowed, throat tight. "She's gone." Vipers and cops. Hargrove's dirty. Silence, then a curse. "Bastards. I'm in." "Where?" "Warehouse. Old Mill Road," I said. "Bring gear." Tommy didn't flinch. He'd lost brothers to Vipers years back, betrayed in a deal gone sour. This was his war too. I rode out on my Indian Scout, engine a low growl under the stars. Sarah's wedding band on a chain around my neck, cold against my chest. The warehouse loomed, damp, rusted, our old rally point. Tommy was there, 48, buzz cut fading to gray, duffel packed, rifles, C4, a man who'd stormed Fallujah, and lived. "They're dead," he said, eyes hard. I nodded, spreading her notes. "Guns, Vipers run 'em. Hargrove shields. We start with the dock." The dock was a graveyard of steel and salt, cranes jutting into the night sky, waves lapping at rusted piers. Sarah's notes pinned it. Viper drop point. Hargrove's beat. "2 guards," Tommy whispered, scoping from a crate stack. Min 4 steady. Sloppy biker muscle. I nodded. Sig in hand. Suppressor screwed tight. You left. Me right. Quiet. I moved low. Shadows my cloak. Delta taught me to be a ghost in plain sight. Guard 1 leaned on a rail. Smoking. Knife slid under his ribs. Quick. Silent. Blood warm on my hand. He slumped. Eyes blank. Tommy's shot hissed. Second guard dropped. Headshot clean through the temple. We dragged them to the water, ripples swallowing the splash. Inside the warehouse, crates, Arkansas 15 cess, stacked, cash bundles, Sarah's lead, real and rotten. Footsteps, 2 vipers, laughing, counting bills. I signaled Tommy. Wait. 1 turned, saw me too late. I lunged, snapped his neck. Crack echoed soft. Tommy took the other, knife to the throat. Gurgle cut short. Amateurs, he muttered, wiping the blade. I pried a crate. Military-grade rifles, serials scratched. Hargrove's covering this, I said, gut twisting. Sarah died for this filth. A ledger sat on a table. Names, dates. Hargrove's scrawl next to Viper cut. Tommy cursed. He's deep. Whole precinct might be. I nodded, pocketing it. Proof. A noose tightening. Burn it, I said. Tommy rigged a gas can. Match struck. Flames licked up. A beacon in the dark. We slipped out. Bikes growling low. Vipers feel this. Hargrove too. Sarah's band pressed my chest. Her fight was mine now, and hell was just starting. Hargrove's house was a brick box in suburbia. Lights off. Cruiser in the drive. I'd tracked him after the dock. Watched him swagger in. Smug as ever. Tommy scouted the yard. 1 guard. Side gate. Drunk. I smirked. Crooked cops bred lazy muscle. Take him, I said. 1 moving low. Sig, ready. Tommy's knife flashed. Guard slumped. Bottle rolling. We breached back door. Kitchen dark. Hargrove snoring upstairs. I climbed. Silent. Sarah's scream echoed in my skull, fueling every step. He sprawled on the bed. Gut heaving. 45 on the nightstand. I kicked it away. He jolted. Eyes wide. Kane, he croaked, fumbling. I pinned him. Knee on his chest. Sig to his jaw. Sarah. Why? He sneered. Breath sour. Bitch stuck her nose in. Vipers called it. I cracked his nose. Blood sprayed. He howled. Who's the viper head? Tommy stepped in. Rifle up. Talk, pig. Hargrove gasped. Rico runs the crew. Doc's theirs. I zip-tied him. Dragged him to the closet. Left him locked. Bleeding. Live till I say. I growled. Tommy grinned. Next. We hit a viper bar. Neon buzzing. Bikes lined up. I tossed a flashbang through the window. Flash. Chaos. 5 bikers stumbled out. Guns wild. Tommy picked 2 off. Shots tight. Chests blooming red. I flanked. Sig coughing. 2 more down. Precise. Rico bolted. Lean, tattooed. Fast. I chased. Tackled him in the lot. Knife to his throat. Hargrove's done. I said. You're next. He spat. Kill me more. Come. I smirked. Good. Back at the warehouse I cleaned my sig. Blood still tacky on my hands. Hargrove's, Vipers didn't matter. Tommy spread the ledger, Rico's name, drop points, a stash house circled. Big haul, he said, voice low. They're moving tomorrow. South lot. I nodded. Sarah's band cold against my chest. We hit it, gut 'em. Tommy sat, eyes distant. Vipers screwed me. 0-8. Deal went bad. Took my cut. Left me for cops. Hargrove planted the rap. I looked up. Knew that weight. Sarah kept me sane. I said, slow. Iraq. 0-6. Ambush. Lost half my squad. She pulled me out. Cooked dinner. Listened when I couldn't talk. He nodded. She'd want this. Damn right. Her fire burned in me now. We planned. 2-man op. South lot. Quiet infill. Doc taught us. Small crew. I said. C4 on their bikes. Force 'em on foot. Tommy grinned. Fallujah style. Hit 'em where they sleep. I gripped her band. Memory sharp. Her smile. Post-mission. Saying, you're enough, Mason. She was gone. I'd make it enough now. Rico squirmed. Tied in the corner. "You're dead, Kane." I kicked his ribs. "Crack," he wheezed. "Keep talking. Helps me aim." Tommy laughed. "Dark. Real. We'd hit tomorrow. Vipers first. Hargrove's crew next." Reaper was loose, and hell followed. The south lot glowed under floodlights, bikes lined up, Vipers loading crates into a truck, 6 men, armed sloppy. We parked a quarter-mile out. Tommy with his M4, me with SIG and C4. 3 outside, he whispered. "Scope up, rest in tight space." I nodded. "Bikes first, cripple him." I crept low, shadows of crates my shield, planted C4 under 2 Harleys. Timers set 5 minutes. Guard 1 paced, knife to his spine, silent drop. Tommy's shot hissed, second guard fell, neck snapped clean. We breached, truck bay, 3 Vipers arguing, Rico's voice barking. "Move it," Hargrove's antsy. I signaled, "Go." Tommy tossed a flashbang. Flash, disarray. I moved, SIG spat 1 down, chest red. Rico spun, pistol up. I dove, slug grazing my vest, and tackled him. Knife slashed his arm. He dropped screaming. Tommy pinned the last shotgun blast, caught his shoulder. Shallow. He grunted, returned fire. Headshot clean. "Clear," he rasped, clutching the wound. I hauled Rico up. "Hargrove's stash." "Where?" He spat blood. "Precinct. Basement." "You're screwed." I zip-tied him, left him. Truck burned as C4 popped. Bikes exploding. Chaos blooming. We slipped out. Sirens wailed too late. Tommy patched his shoulder. "Like old times." I nodded. For Sarah. The precinct loomed next. Hargrove's end. Reaper's dawn. The south lot burned behind us. Bikes twisted wrecks. Vipers scattered. Rico's screams fading as we rode out. My vest chafed where the slug grazed it. A dull ache I ignored. Sarah's band pressed harder against my chest. Tommy gripped the handlebars. Shoulder patched with a rag. Blood seeping slow. "Precinct's next," he said, voice rough. "Hargrove's stash. Basement." I nodded, jaw tight. "We end him there." We ditched the bikes a mile out, holed up in an abandoned gas station, cracked pumps, dust thick. I spread Rico's intel, precinct layout from memory, basement marked. 2 entrances, I said, tracing. Fronts hot, cops everywhere. Service door, rear, less guarded. Tommy grunted. "Fallujah rules. Quiet in, loud out." I smirked. C4 on the stash. "Force 'em up." Tommy cleaned his M4, wincing. Took worse in 04. RPG grazed me. Kept going. I paused, Sarah's laugh flashing. Last week her teasing me over burnt steak, saying Delta can't cook, huh? She'd been my light, now I'd be their dark. She'd push us, I said, low. He nodded. For her then. We geared up. SIG, knife, C4, vest for me. Tommy with rifle, flashbangs. Hargroved feel the Reaper tonight. The precinct loomed at 2 a.m. Floodlights harsh. 2 guards at the service door smoking. I signaled. Tommy took left. Silenced shot dropping 1 through the skull. I moved. Knife to the second's throat. Quiet slump. We breached. Stairs down. Air stale. Basement humming with voices. Hargrove's endgame waited. Sarah's killers, my prey. The basement was a bunker. Concrete walls, crates stacked. Hargrove's voice barking orders. "Hey! Move it!" Feds are sniffing. I peeked him at a desk. Buzz-cut gleaming sweat. 3 cops packing guns. 2 Vipers counting cash. Tommy flanked right. Med 4 ready. 5 total, he whispered. Tight. I nodded. Flashbang. Then split me on Hargrove. I tossed it. Flash. Chaos. Guards stumbled. Blind. Tommy opened up. 2 shots. 2 cops down. Chests red. I charged. SIG spat. 1 Viper fell. Neck snapped clean. Hargrove dove. 45 up. I rolled. Bullet grazing my arm. Hot sting. A Viper tackled me. Big stinking of beer. I twisted. Knife slashing his gut. He dropped gurgling. Tommy pinned the last cop. Shotgun blast caught his leg. Shallow. He cursed. Returned fire. Headshot tight. Hargrove bolted. Side door. Stairs up. I chased. Blood dripping. You're mine. He fired. Wild. Missed. I lunged, slammed him into the wall, desk crashing. Sarah, I roared, fist to his jaw. Crack, blood sprayed. Why her? He wheezed. She saw the guns. Vipers demanded it. I pinned him, knife at his throat. Rico's done. Your turn. Tommy limped in. Stash rigged. 5 minutes. Hargrove laughed. Manic. You're dead. Vipers'll I cut him off. Blade pressing. Who's above you? He choked. Dixon State Brass. Takes the cut. Higher still. I zip-tied him. Live. Till I say. The C4 ticked. Hell was coming up. The basement shook as we hauled Hargrove up. Smoke curling, alarms screaming. Tommy's C4 ready to blow. Oh, my arm bled. A steady drip. But Sarah's band kept me sharp. Her voice, "You're enough," echoing from a quiet night. "Move," I barked, dragging Hargrove. Tommy covering, leg dragging, like 04. He grinned. Grim. Stairs tight. 2 cops rushed down. ARs up. I dropped Hargrove. Sig coughed. 1 fell. Chest blooming. Tommy flanked. Shot clipped the second shoulder. He stumbled. I finished him. Knife to the spine. "Clear," I said, hauling Hargrove again. His eyes wild, blood streaking his face. "You're screwed, Kane," he spat. I smirked. Watch. The blast hit. Basement erupted. Fire licking up. Crates of guns cooking off. Boom rattled my bones. Cops shouted above. Chaos. Our shield. We hit the service door. 3 guards outside, turning. Tommy tossed a flashbang. Flash. Disarray. I moved. Sig took 2 tight shots. Tommy dropped the 3rd. Rifle steady, despite the limp. "Van," I yelled. "Stolen." Parked a block out. We piled in. Me driving. Tommy shotgun. Hargrove tied in back. Tires squealed. Sirens wailed. Lights flashing. Feds, or filth, didn't matter. "Dixon," I muttered. "State Brass." Hargrove's puppet master. Tommy nodded. "Big fish. My kind of hunt." Sarah's killers were breaking. Reaper's hell was halfway home. The van rattled down back roads. Hargrove moaning. Tommy patching his leg with a rag. Me gripping the wheel, blood crusting my arm. "Dixon," I said. Mind turning. "State cop high up runs this." Tommy grunted. "Heard of him. Crooked as they come. Dodged IA twice." I nodded. Sarah's notes had a hint. State. She'd been close. We hit a safe house. An old barn. Tommy's fallback. Hay and rust shielding us. I dumped Hargrove in a stall. Tied. Gagged. Cleaned my arm. Stitches pulling. Tommy spread a map. "Austin. State HQ. Dixon's there tomorrow. Briefing." I smirked. "We crash it. Public. Loud." He nodded. "For Sarah and my brother's Vipers screwed." I sat, her band in hand, memory sharp. Iraq, 06, her letters waiting. "Come home, Reaper. I'm here." She'd held me when the shakes hit, kissed the scars. Now she was ash, and I was fire. "She'd fight this," I said, voice low. Tommy looked up. "She did, through you." I gripped the chain. "Damn right." We planned 2-man hit. Austin. Quiet infill. C4 on his car. I said, "Force him out." Proof pinned. Tommy grinned. Like pinning a medal, only bloodier. Hargrove stirred. "Dixon'll bury you." I kicked him. Ribs cracked. "He'll join you. Tomorrow, Austin." Dixon'd meet the Reaper, and hell'd burn brighter. Austin glowed at dawn. State HQ a fortress of glass and steel. Dixon's briefing at 10 a.m. In we rode in, bikes low, parked a block out. Tommy with M4, me with SIG, C4 vest snug. 4 guards front, Tommy scoped, rooftop perch. Garage 2, Dixon's car. I nodded. Garage quiet, then boom. I hit the garage, shadows deep. 2 guards chatting. Knife took 1, throat slit, silent. Second turned, SIG coughed, chest red. He dropped. Dixon's SUV gleamed, state plates, smug. I planted C4 under the chassis. 5 minutes, slipped out. Tommy signaled. He's in. Briefing started. Showtime. We breached service stairs up to the hall, glass walls, Dixon's voice droning. 50s, slick hair, badge pinned high. I tossed a flashbang, flash, chaos, guards scrambled, 4 total. Tommy pinned 2, shots tight, necks snapped. I moved, Sig took 1, headshot clean, last tackled me, fist to my jaw. I twisted, knife slashing his gut, down he went. Dixon bolted, side door. I chased, tackled him in the lot, car ticking nearby. Sarah, I roared, pinning him. Your guns, your cops. He sneered. She was collateral. Business. I cracked his nose. Blood gushed. You're done. The C4 blue SUV erupted. Fire roaring. Screams. Sirens. I zip-tied him. Ledger taped. For her. Tommy limped up. Clean. Let's roll. Hell had landed. Dixon's turn to burn. Austin State HQ burned behind us. Dixon's SUV a twisted pyre, smoke curling into the morning sky. I dragged him through the lot, zip-tied, ledger taped to his chest. Hargrove scrawl, Rico's deals, proof in black ink. Tommy limped beside me, shoulder and leg patched. Men 4 slung. Feds'll swarm now, he said, voice rough. I nodded, Sarah's band cold against my skin. Good, let him clean the mess. We ditched him at the curb, state brass, broken, screaming as news vans rolled in. Kane's insane, too late, cameras flashed, Feds sirens wailed. I melted into an alley, Tommy covering, bikes a block out, engines cold but ready. My arm throbbed, blood crusting, war's tax, paid in full. Hargrove's next, I said, low, public, end him loud. The safehouse barn loomed at dusk. Hargrove tied, Rico beside him, both beaten, silent. I cleaned my cig, hands steady. Sarah's scream echoed, fueling me. Tommy spread a map, precincts locked, Feds sniffing, but Hargrove's crew's still there. I smirked, gate, like Dixon, tie him up, let him see. He nodded, for my brothers too. Vipers took him, Hargrove buried it. I sat, her band in hand, memory sharp, 07. Her nursing me post-op, shrapnel scars fresh, whispering, you're home, Mason. She'd been my north, now I'd point hell south. She'd want it public, I said. Tommy grinned. She's watching, Reaper's her show. We planned, midnight, precinct gate, Hargrove's fall. Hell wasn't done burning. Midnight draped the precinct, floodlights dim, Feds gone, Hargrove's loyalists holed up. We rolled in, bikes quiet, parked a quarter-mile out. Tommy with M4, me with Sig, knife, last C4 brick, 3 outside. Tommy scoped alley perch. Gate's weak, sloppy. I nodded. Gate first. Hargrove's the prize. I crept low, shadows my shield. Guard 1 smoked. Knife took him silent. Throat slit. Tommy's shot hissed. Second dropped. Chest red. Third turned. Sig coughed. Headshot clean. We dragged Hargrove from the van. Gagged, bruised. Tied him to the gate. Ledger pinned. Viper's puppet. Sarah's killer. I stepped back. For you, babe. Lights flared. Cops rushed out. 4 ARs up. Freeze. Tommy tossed a flashbang. Flash. Chaos. I moved. Sig spat. 2 down. Tight shots. Tommy pinned 1. Rifle steady. Neck snapped. Last charged me. Shotgun blasting. I dove. Slug grazed my vest. Rolled. Knife slashed his gut. Down he went. Clear. Tommy yelled, limping. Inside's hot, more coming. Engines roared. Vipers. Late. 3 bikes. Rico's lieutenants. I rigged the C4. Tossed it. Blast tore the lot. Bikes flipped. Fire blooming. 2 survived. Stumbled out. I charged. Sig took 1. Chest red. Tommy dropped the last. Clean through the skull. Hargrove screamed. You're dead. I grinned. You first. Hell reigned. Sarah's justice. Loud and raw. The precinct gate was a graveyard. Hargrove tied. Vipers and cops dead. Smoke thick as news choppers buzzed overhead. Tommy slumped against a wall. Feds'll pin this hero or psycho. I smirked. Don't care. Sarah's free. My vest hung heavy. Grazes stinging. Arm patched. War's toll, worth every drop. I hauled Hargrove up. Gag off. Who's above Dixon? He spat blood. No one, my show. Liar. His eyes flickered. Fear, not defiance. Tommy stepped in. He's covering. Like 08. Viper's boss lied. Left me swinging. I pressed the knife. Talk. He choked. Vega, cartel. Juarez. Dixon's link. The web stretched. Sarah's killers ran deep. Sirens closed. Feds, real ones. I zip-tied Hargrove tighter. Live till they gut you. We slipped out. Alley to bikes. Tommy's leg dragged, but he mounted. Like Fallujah blelled. One. I nodded. For her. The ride out was quiet. Texas flatlands opening. Sarah's band warm now. Memory. Her smile. 08. Picnic by the lake. You're my hero, Reaper. She'd see this hell unleashed. Her fight won. Back at the barn. I cleaned my cig. Tommy patched up. Vega's next, he asked. I nodded. Later Feds'll hit him first. Hargrove's fall. Dixon's ruin. Enough for now. Reaper rested, but not long. Dawn painted the highway gold. Bikes growling. The barn, a memory fading behind. Hargrove and Rico were Feds now tied, broken, proof pinned. Viper's gutted, precinct ash. Tommy split. Bar in Austin, beers on me, he grinned, clapping my shoulder. You're a bastard, Mason, but the right kind. I smirked. You too, Marine. I rode solo, wind sharp. Sarah's band a steady weight. Her grave waited, simple stone. Sarah Kane, beloved. I knelt, tracing it. Got 'em, babe, I said, voice rough. Iraq flashed. Her letter 06. You're my rock, come home. She'd held me. Now I'd held her justice. Blood for blood. The news blared. Cop biker ring smashed. Delta vet key. Didn't matter. Her piece did. The burner buzzed. Tommy. Feds nabbed Vega's crew. Juarez hot. You in? I glanced at her stone. Soon, I said, hanging up. Reaper didn't sleep. Vega loomed. A shadow to hunt. I mounted the Indian. Engine roared. Highway stretched. Free. Fierce. They'd killed my wife. Ignited hell. Lost it all. Bikers. Cops. Buried by a Delta man. And her memory. The road called. Sarah rode with me. Always.